A drunk driver hit my mailbox. I recorded a video of it, posted it on TikTok. It went super viral. So in this video, I'm gonna cover everything that happened, go way more in detail than I could in just a 30-second clip. It's gonna be a full story of what happened to the drunk driver that hit my mailbox. If you don't know who I am, my name is Alec. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. In this channel, I post, everything from like real estate content to like entrepreneurship, lifestyle, mindset. And in this video, we're gonna talk about this mailbox. So what happened? So I have an Airbnb, and it was just a normal morning. It's rented out to an Airbnb guest. I wake up, it's like 7 a.m. or whatever, and my Airbnb guest messages me, and he says, Alec, don't be mad. And I'm like, okay, like, what do you mean? So he says, Alec, don't be mad, but your mailbox is broken. Also, I didn't mention this in the video, but my trash can got stolen. It's like the big trash cans, like the big dumpster trash cans that like you wheel out to your house, like that got stolen. So my mailbox was broken and my trash can was stolen. Super weird, I know. Your neighbor's is too, so my neighbor's mailbox was also broken. And I'm like, what do you mean? So then he takes pictures and he starts sending it to me. And then as he's doing that, I look on my Ring doorbell and I see the guy like standing in front of my house taking pictures. I'm like, bro, what is going on? He takes the pictures, he sends them to me, and I'm like in like shock. I'm like, bro, what is happening here? Like, why is my mailbox broken? And as I'm looking through the pictures, I see in the picture had a phone. Like there was a picture of a cell phone in the picture. So I say, hey, is this, your phone? Like I see there's a phone on the ground. Like, whose phone is this? And he's like, no, it's not. So he goes back out there to look at the phone, and then he says, it's not my phone, it's just a random phone. And I say, okay, can you like bring it into the house? And he does. And the weird part about that, and I can't even make this up, but he picks up the phone and he unlocks it. There's no lock screen. So a lot of people were asking on my TikTok and like Instagram and stuff, they're like, how'd you open the phone? The phone is locked. Like, people assume that all phones have locks. Like, some people don't have passwords on their phone. So he didn't have a password. So the guy unlocks it, and the Wild West like movie theme song, I don't even know what it was playing, but it was like the Wild West song was playing. So I'm like, bro, like it felt targeted. Like, the person breaks my mailbox, leaves the phone and puts the Wild West theme song on. Like, bro, that's wild. Can't even make that up. He brings it in the house, and he actually was checking out that day, so he just puts it to charge. And then I call my realtor. So I call my guy Adam. Shout out to Adam. Yo, somebody broke my mailbox. Can you go and see what's on this phone? Like, they left their phone. So he's like, yeah, I'll be there in a few hours. So yeah, I'm waiting for him to go to see it. I don't call the police yet or anything. I'm just trying to figure out, like, a lot's going on. Like, just woke up and now this is happening. So I call my neighbor, because my neighbor's mailbox is broken too. So I'm calling and texting my neighbor. He doesn't answer. I'm like calling him, no answer, left a voicemail. Texting, no answer. So I'm like, yo, like, my mailbox is broken. Looks like yours is too. Like, do you know anything that happened? And they just completely are going ghost. Like, they're not answering me. So I'm like, this is so weird, like, my neighbor's cool. Like, it's not like we're like boys, but like, he's a nice guy, I set the expectation, when I bought the house, that it was going to be an Airbnb, and, I wanted him to feel comfortable, like, tell me, hey, if there's shenanigans happening, tell me, I'll kick him out. And like, we've been good. That's one tip if you are getting into Airbnb, is to make friends with your neighbors, because your neighbors can make or break an Airbnb. I've seen so many stories where people, like, I even see people that sold their Airbnbs because their neighbors were horrible, like reporting them and all this stuff. So make sure you're friendly with your neighbors, especially if they're homeowners. But back to the story. So my neighbor's not answering. So I'm like, okay, this is like super weird. Like, what's going on here? So then I'm like, oh, let me look at my security camera. Like, I have cameras all over my house. My house is in a decent area. It's not in, the best area. It's not like Beverly Hills. It's, it's in a decent area. It's an area that 5 years ago was rough, and today is like gentrifying and getting better, right? It's like one of those neighborhoods. So I have security cameras all over my house, and it's Ring. There's like Ring doorbells. It's good. Ring doorbell, Ring camera. And I, pull up my Ring camera, and it's supposed to be recording 24/7. And this part blows my mind the most of this whole thing. Like, and I didn't talk about this in my TikTok, but there's a 3-minute period on my Ring camera where it stopped recording. Like, it recorded every single other minute of that night besides 3 minutes. And in that 3-minute period, you'll see in this video, it starts with my mailbox, my trash can, and my neighbor's mailbox. And then it goes to trash can gone, mailbox gone, mailbox gone. In a 3-minute period, this all happened. So I'm like, bro, how does this happen in 3 minutes? Right? How does somebody break 2 mailboxes and steal a trash can in 3 minutes? And why is my camera not recording? So of course I call Ring. Ring customer service is terrible. So it's just like talking to like, you know, somebody in the Philippines that just doesn't even know anything. So I spent like an hour doing that, a complete waste of my time. I did that a couple of days later, I think. But complete waste of my time talking to them. It's not even worth it. But that was so annoying. I'm like, bro, there's no way that this Ring camera stopped recording for 3 minutes. You know, like, bro, it doesn't make sense. So Adam finally gets to the house and he FaceTimes me. So he's FaceTiming me like this, and because the house is in Tampa, I live in Fort Lauderdale, it's like 5 hours away. So he's FaceTiming me. We're going through the phone together, and I'm like, bro, I can't wait to see this phone. Like, whose phone is this? You know, whoever broke my mailbox left their phone. Like, it's terrible criminal. It's the worst criminal ever. Like, if you do a crime, you can't leave your personal belongings, and you don't leave a cell phone that has everything, right? So we're going through the phone, and I start seeing contacts in it, like mom, sister, and then just like a whole bunch of personal contacts, like super personal text messages, like text messages I shouldn't be reading with like women and stuff. We're going through it, and I'm like, this is a personal cell phone. This isn't like somebody targeted me and left the Wild West theme song. Like, this dude was listening to the Wild West theme song, broke his mailbox, left it, you know? I'm like, yo, like, Adam, I have this phone, let's call the mom, let's call the sister, you know, like, screw it. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, like, let's do it. So he's FaceTiming me. I'm looking at the thing, and then so if you watch my shorts and like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, you'll see I actually posted the calls. So I put my phone like this, and then I have a second phone. It's my work phone, so I have 2 phones, and I make the calls on my work phone. So I'm recording on my iPhone, and then I call on my Android, and then I make the calls. So I call the mom. The mom actually doesn't answer. I called her like 3 times in a row. She didn't answer. And I call the sister. I posted that call, and you'll see the sister starts freaking out at me. She's like, no, my brother wouldn't do it, my brother wouldn't do it, blah, 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 he lost his phone, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. She actually hung up on me a couple of times. So what's funny is that call video, where it's like 1 call with the sister, that was actually, I think, 3 calls. She hung up on me the first time. When I told her that I was maybe going to do a police report, she hung up on me. She thought, I don't even know. So that was actually 3 calls I stitched together. But yeah, she was freaking out. She was denying it. And then eventually, I guess she gets in contact with her brother, the guy who owns the phone. And then her brother, you know, goes to her house, I assume, and calls me on her phone. So I answer. I'm like, hello. He's like, hey, this is, you know, whatever his name is. You have my phone. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, I have your phone. Like, why'd you break my mailbox, right? I was like, bro, what's going on? It was a little bit more to that. I posted that call. Check out that call. But yeah, he essentially denies it. His story was like really bad though. He was like, yeah, I lost my phone at the store. And then he said he lost it at the club. And then him and his sister kept saying, my brother is an old man. He's 50 years old. He doesn't have time to be doing this to mailboxes and stuff like that. But then if he's 50 years old, like, why is he going to the club? It's like, bro, like, what are you doing? And then, you know, as I said, I had his phone. He had a lot of women texting him. I presume like 99% like exotic dancers, if you know what I mean. That was the vibe that I was getting from them, like, based off of like what they were saying. They're like, all of them were like, yo, come visit me, come visit me, come visit me. Like, and it was like clubs that they were saying to come visit. It's like, bro, you're saying you're too old to do this to mailboxes, but you're going to the club and messing with these girls. It's like, you know, live your life, do whatever you want. But I just thought that was interesting. Like, 99% sure that he was guilty, but it's just like, one thing is like, a lot of people were commenting like, bro, why would you give the phone back? Why would you? It's just like, I don't have time for this. I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt, and then I call the police, and I'm like, yo, like, somebody broke my mailbox, they left their phone, this whole story with the police. And the police officer actually came to my house. And coincidentally, this police officer's been to my house before. So like, I have a relationship with this police officer. I have other stuff happen to my house, which I'll probably make future videos about because it's way more traumatic than this. But this police officer comes to my house and she's like, hey, I'm back. I'm like, oh, welcome back. You know, like all this stuff. But so my realtor Adam meets with her. They do the police report, and she actually tells Adam, like while Adam's on the phone with me, and she says she was actually at my house last night at midnight. My neighbor actually already filed the police report, which was good. And the reason I know it's a drunk driver, because a lot of people are like, how do you know it's a drunk driver? Well, first of all, he's coming from the club, so I assume he was drunk. And second of all, I have video from my neighbors, which they didn't want to send me because they're not answering my text messages and stuff. But I have video from my neighbors. They have a camera, and their camera actually works, unlike my Ring cameras. And it has the car swerve. Basically, the car swerved the turn, hit both our mailboxes, and then swerved out, and then they were driving like this. And the cop actually told me that based off the video, that she thinks they were drunk driving. I asked her what happened to my trash can, but she couldn't answer. And I never saw the video, so it's just off of what the police officer told me. And I haven't been to the house, so I haven't been able to talk to the neighbors, and they don't answer me. So that's just what the police officer told me. She thinks it was a drunk driver that hit our mailboxes. And, you know, I ended up giving the phone back to her. She brought it to the station, and the station gave it back to the guy, even though it was like broken mailbox, you know, car, like everything adds up to like be this guy. Even like on his phone, like I was looking at his Instagram, and like it was the same car based on, she told me it was like a black Audi or something, and then on his Instagram he's like posing in front of a black Audi. So it's like, bro, it was him. You know, it was him, but they couldn't link the two, and it's just like, I don't have time for this, you know, like I'm so busy, like I don't have time for this. So I was just like, I'll give him benefit of the doubt, you could take his phone, he got lucky on this one, like it's just whatever. And I call my contractor comes over. They get me a mailbox. They go to Home Depot. They do the mailbox. They put a new one. It cost me about $300 for the new mailbox. They did a great job, and I have a new mailbox there. I'll put some pictures here. It actually worked out because I low-key needed a new mailbox when I bought the house. The mailbox looked bad, and so, you know, it's fine. Like, I need a new mailbox. I have a good story. That's kind of the full story of what happened. So, a couple quick, like, funny notes that, like, I want to talk about was, like, bro, I think like half the comments on that TikTok video were like, I have the same case. It's like, okay, like, good for you. Like, I don't know why everybody's commenting that, but it helped the engagement too. And then another thing that was interesting about this video, because it went like super viral, was it got 3 million views on TikTok, but only like 5,000 on Instagram, and like 10,000 on YouTube, and like 1,000 on Facebook. Thought that was interesting. Just shows that every algorithm's like different, or something happened. I don't know. I just did the same description, same hashtags and everything. So it's interesting how that works. What would you have done? Would you have taken the phone? Would you have sold the phone? Would you have given the phone back to the police, done what I did? Would you have tried to blackmail the guy and like, you know, say pay for my mailbox or I'm not getting the phone? Would you have done more? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious if you think I made the right choice. But if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe, like, and see you guys in the next video.